Hi guys! Today I'm going to be sharing a story about the worst person in the world. They are really annoying, really anxious all the time, struggle with depression, and that person is me. And I don't know if you were thinking I was talking about either you or somebody that you knew, but if you do have thoughts like this and you did think that was you, then you struggle with self-esteem issues. And that's what I'm going to be talking about today is self-esteem issues and why we see ourselves so poorly and how we can see ourselves better. And I'm going to start off today with a Jesus Calling devotion. It's a really good book. You can pick them up at Barnes & Noble. I know you could probably get them offline or online, sorry. But yeah, they're really good. So, let me see here. Today it is March 28th, 2018. Okay, I am God who gives and gives and gives, so God always gives us blessings. When I died for you on the cross, I held back nothing. I poured out my life like a drink offering. Because giving is inherent in my nature, I search for people who are able to receive in full measure. So he's constantly giving to you. He's not giving to you. He's always giving. We just need to be able to receive that. But to increase your intimacy with me, the two traits you need to get what he's giving you, the most are receptivity and attentiveness. Receptivity is opening up your innermost being to be filled with my abundant riches, and attentiveness is directing your gaze towards me, searching for me in all of your moments. So we just need to keep an eye out for what he's doing for us. It is possible to stay your mind on me, as the prophet Isaiah wrote, and that is in Isaiah 26:3. Here, I'll flip here really quick. I didn't have it marked already, so. Alright, thou will keep him in perfect peace, whose mind is stayed on thee, because he trusteth in thee. So that means meditating, focusing on God and not yourself. Through such attentiveness, you receive a glorious gift, my perfect peace. So we can receive peace. We don't have to be depressed, or we don't have to be focusing on ourselves, because when we focus on ourselves, we see all the little flaws. We see all the little screw-ups that happen. We see that we're not pretty, or that we have fallen too many times, or that we didn't do something that somebody else did, like, oh, I don't go door to door preaching, that means I'm worse than she is. But we just need to be looking at God, because he is perfect, and we will never be disappointed when we look at God. And there are a few quotes here that talk about self-esteem issues, and I have some verses I'm going to share too. Let's see. Not one drop of my self-worth depends on your acceptance of me. So God will always accept us no matter what we look like, because he died for us while we were still sinners. Before the world was even made, he already had a plan for us. He already knew what we were going to look like. He already knew my hair was going to be brown, my eyes were going to be bluish color. He already knew that your hair was going to be black and your eyes were going to be brown, or your teeth were going to be a little bit bent, or whatever you look like, glasses or no glasses. He already knew what you were going to look like. And he sees you perfect and beautiful, and he sees you as the glory, like the glory of God. He sees that you could be filled with the Holy Spirit if you're not saved, and we will talk about how to be saved at the end of this video, so just stick with us here. If you find yourself constantly trying to prove your worth to someone, you have already forgotten your value. And this is actually a really good quote too, because what we actually need to do if we have severe self-esteem issues, because I struggle with depression and things like that because I have really bad self-esteem issues, we need to be spending time with God alone, because that helps boost our self-esteem issues, because he already saw us. He sees that we are fallen, but he sent Jesus so that way we could rise back up again with his help. Like, he could take our hand and rise us back up, or raise us back up. And he sees that we are beautiful and that we can be made beautiful. So we need to spend time with him because he loves us and he wants us to spend time with him. And spending time with a group of people that you think is cool or that you think will accept you, if you change a little bit, that's not going to fulfill you because you'll have to change. You would be fulfilled more if you actually got to spend time with someone and you got to be yourself, your weird, quirky, stuttering, whatever you have, your flaws, you can just be yourself with him. And when you choose things that are less important, like spending time with the people that you think are important or that you think will help you to fit in, that doesn't fulfill you because he's or they, she, he, the group, isn't the one that died to be with you. So they see your flaws and they want you to change those flaws, even if that's just who you are to begin with. Make sure you don't start seeing yourself through the eyes of those who don't value you. Know your worth even if they don't. Okay, so see yourself as God sees you. Do not look at yourself through somebody else's eyes who doesn't even know you. And if they do know you, they don't value you. So they don't care about you. They don't care about your feelings. They don't care about your worth. They don't care about you in general. You should see yourself as Jesus sees you, like the 24 elders around the throne. You're covered in white, you're beautiful, you have those beautiful brown eyes, that beautiful, dark, rich, shiny black hair. You are beautiful. And we are made in God's image. It says in Genesis 1:26. Hang on, I got it marked here. 1:26 through 27. And God said, "Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion over the fish of the sea, and over the fowl of the air, and over the cattle, and over all the earth, and over every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth." So, and God said, "Let us make man in our image." So we are made in God's image, not in Satan's image, not in the lamp's image. We're made in God's image, and God is perfect and holy, and he is awesome. So that should help boost our self-esteem just a little bit. So God created man in his own image. In the image of God created he him. Male and female created he him. So yeah, he created everyone in his own image. So that kind of helps us. I know when I get attacked with self-esteem issues, it's always that I'm not perfect. Or sometimes I get attacked with the fact that I would be going to hell, and then just don't even put Jesus in the picture. I'm just like, wow, I'm just going to hell anyway. Even though I'm saved and I know I'm under the blood of God, I'm still, oh, well, I guess I don't even really care what goes on anymore because I'm not even going to heaven. And then you stop for a second and you realize that you've already been saved and that Jesus already died for you and covered you with his blood. Then you just stand there and think, wow, that is no words. So we have to make sure that we're not cutting Jesus out of the picture. He is helping us. He is transforming us from glory to glory. And I do have a verse on that. Let me see here. Hang on. Yeah. Let me see. I can't find it now. Of course. Oh, here we go. Okay. 2 Corinthians 3:18. Sorry about that. 2 Corinthians 3:18. Okay, but we all with open face, beholding as in a glass the glory of the Lord. So when we're looking at ourselves, we should see the glory of God because we are made in his image and because he dwells inside of us and he is making us holy. And we are changed into the same image from glory to glory. So that means every time that we're doing something for God, we start out small. When you first get your driver's license, you are not expected to go drive at NASCAR. You start small. You start from maybe your street, maybe just from stop sign at the end of the street to stop sign at the other end of your street. Just one big long just drive all the way down. Or maybe you start at what is that? Like a parking lot. You're just going around in circles maybe. First time it snows, you're just kind of like sliding around in the parking lot, but you're not actually going to go out on the street and go like get a semi and go drive it. That's not how that works. Even by the Spirit of the Lord. So God helps us change into that new image. We are not expected to do it on our own. And that is also a self-esteem, and I believe probably depression issue, because we're trying to change things that aren't meant to be changed on our own, and we are not able to change them. So when we get up and say, I'm going to be less selfish today, or I'm going to be less whatever today, that's a good thing. But most of the time when we do that, even as Christians, we forget to ask God to help us, or if that's what God even wants us to work on today, because God knows what's going to happen today. He knows what He set in place for us. And we need to be asking Him, not telling Him what needs to be accomplished. All right, no one can make you feel inferior without your consent. That is very true. When the devil comes, and he will come, and when he knocks on your door and he says, hey, Veronica, or hey, whatever your name is, you failed. You're really, really bad. You sinned. You ate that cookie. I told you not to do that, or God told you not to do that, and you failed pretty bad. So He can't love you anymore. And when you get those things, you need to be able to go to God in secret and ask Him, like, is this true? And when you read through the Bible and you see that you are changing from glory to glory, and that Jesus sees you as the 24 elders around the throne, and that He sees that He can help you back up. He doesn't see you as a failure or for failure. He does see that you fall and you need to confess that, and then you get back up with Him and He helps you walk on. But He doesn't sit there and say, wow, you failed pretty hard. You failed really, really hard. He doesn't sit there and say that. He says, I want to help you rise back up again. So we need to be able to have the spirit of discernment and ask for the spirit of discernment to see which things are from God and which things are from Satan, and when he is trying to bring us down. And just some extra verses that I have here. Psalms 139:14. Excuse me, I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful, and I know that full well. So we are fearfully and wonderfully made. And that does not mean that we are fearfully like, oh no, fearfully made. That just means like awestruck, wonderful, awesome, like, wow, that is cool. Like if you've ever seen a baby in the womb, they almost look like a little jelly bean. Like their head's too big and their tailbone's like way over here. But they do turn into beautiful little babies and got those soft little faces, and they're so cute. But yeah, God changes us from little jelly bean into beautiful babies, and then we grow up and we become more beautiful. So even if you think you're ugly on the outside, it's Proverbs 31. It talks about the virtuous woman. Beauty is vain, but a woman who fears the Lord, she shall be praised. And that is also goes for guys too. So even if you think that you're ugly and you're not handsome, beauty is vain. So it doesn't matter what you look like on the outside, because all this is flesh and bone. We're not going to have this for very long. When the rapture happens, when we die, our body stays here. Our soul is going to go straight up to heaven with God. And He already sees you as beautiful, so that's not going to matter. Let me see. Romans 5:11 through 12. And not only that, but we also rejoice in God through our Lord Jesus Christ. We have now received this reconciliation through Him. Therefore, just as sin entered the world through one man, so Adam sinned first, and death through sin entered the world through one man. In this way, death spread to all men because all have sinned.